Hello children, are you excited to learn physics? I am equally excited. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is A.K. Rai. I am a retired Air Force officer and my qualifications are I have done BTech in electronics from IIT VHU, Varanasi. I also did my MTech in computer science from IIT Madras and I did MBA. My hobbies are I love swimming, I do jogging regularly, and I'm also a marathon runner because I believe the physical fitness or health is the most important. It's more important than accumulating wealth. So I'm sure you will keep your physical fitness to keep you mentally sound. As far as my area of interest is concerned, I taught for 7 years in one of the JNTU Hyderabad affiliated college. There I taught aerospace engineering. As I'm BTech in electronics, so obviously electronics and computers and automation are my area of interest. Physics I teach because I love physics, and I'm also equally interested in mathematics. So with that, let me start first the syllabus of physics. So I'll be covering total 5 topics. The first topic, light, reflection and refraction, 7 classes, human eye and colorful world, 5 classes, electricity, 7 classes, magnetic effect of electronic current, 7 classes, and natural resources, no classes because you have already done as a part of your holiday homework. So that makes total 26 classes. We will not be going exactly as per the sequence. So I'll start with electricity, and then we'll go to the magnetism, and then we'll come to the light and human eye. So the topics we are starting is electricity. So there will be total 9 classes. So week number 1 starting today, we'll have day 1 electric current and circuit, which I am going to cover today. Day 2 will be potential and potential difference, circuit diagram. Third day will be covering Ohm's law, and the day 4 will be the factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. We'll be completing the complete electricity topic in week number 2. So day 1 will be resistance, that is series and parallel, and day 2 will be finishing heating effect of current, is application, electric power, and the third day will be your whatever we have understood, what we call is the FA1, that will be day 3. So let us start with the topic number 1, that is electric current and circuit. So the objective of this topic is, after going through this video, you will be able to derive relation between current and charge. You will be able to compute and solve numerical problems relating to electric charge and current flowing in a circuit. And you should be able to, I'll be demonstrating with an activity, you'll be able to make simple circuit consisting of a battery, switch, a meter which will be used to measure the current, and a lamp. Okay, before I go into the details, you have some understanding of what is electricity, what is magnetism. You must have studied in your lower grades, maybe grade 7 or grade 8. So just to recall, I have made a what we call prior knowledge test, and that has been sent to you. So you must have already done it. Did you enjoy answering those questions? Were you able to recall key terms associated with electricity? I am sure you must have gone through the complete test. What do you find? Like on the right hand side, there are few electrical appliances. You are already familiar with them. Now can you imagine life without these items? I am able to take this class, online class, because of electricity. Computers, air conditioners, all smartphones, television, school, hospitals and industries, nothing will function if we don't have electricity. So the electricity is a very, very important part of our life. And it is one of the most suitable form of energy compared to other form of energy. And it can be controlled very easily. If I want to control the speed of a fan, I just rotate a knob and the speed is controlled. I just put a switch off and this light will be off. So it's very easy and safe to control electricity. And lastly, it's very easy to transport electricity in your school. Do you know from where it is coming? Just find out. It must be coming from a distance of more than 200 kilometer, 300 kilometer, and there is no other source of energy which can be transported so easily. So the transportation of electricity is very, very simple. Using a transformer, you can distribute electricity all over the world. Now, the most difficult part of this topic is what we call electric current, because most students find it difficult because the electric current, a current flowing through a circuit cannot be seen. So to make it simple, I have drawn an analogy of electric current and the water flow. So if you see on the left hand side of your screen, we have a water is stored in the tank. So the purpose is you want to push this water, you want to pump this water on the first floor or second floor of your house. So is it possible to do it just by a pipeline? No, you need a pump. It could be a hand pump or it could be an electric pump. So what is done is the water through the pump, it is pumped to the first floor and then the water is circulating. So you have a circular motion of water through this system. The water is entering the pump, going out, going on the first floor, and through the pipe is going. So it is in a closed loop, what we call is a closed circuit. And how much water is flowing? So you have got, depending upon the capacity of the pump, we'll have say 10 liter per second, 5 liter per second. So what we call this as a volume flow rate, cubic centimeter per second. And one more important thing, what you can notice is the flow rate. The flow of water is same everywhere. If you have a flow meter either here or here or here, it will measure the same flow rate because the fluid or water is consumed. Whatever water is entering is going out. So input is same as output because there is no accumulation of water in the circuit. So what we say, the fluid is conserved. Now compare this with the electric circuit which has got a battery and you have got a wire. So the wire are like pipe. So from the battery is connected to a lamp or resistance or it could be any load. So the electric current or what we call is the charge. The charge is flowing through the circuit. So from the battery it goes through the wire, through the lamp and comes back. So it is a closed circuit and the amount of charge which is flowing in the circuit in 1 second is called current. So the current is nothing but rate of flow of charge. How much charge, how much coulombs of charge is flowing through the circuit is denoted by a symbol I. So I stands for current. So this is how the current flows through a circuit. And again, like the water here, the flow rate or the current is same in the complete circuit. So if you want to measure how much charge is flowing in 1 second, this place or this place, anywhere it is same. This is called conservation of charge, because the charge is not getting accumulated in the pipe or in the wire. So whatever its charge is going out is coming back. So the flow rate of the current is same at everywhere. It is called the conservation of charge. Now, this diagram shows a battery, a lamp, an instrument called ammeter, which is used to measure the current, which I will be demonstrating you, taking you to the physics lab, and we have got a switch, a key. Like in the case of a water, you have got a valve. If you close the valve, water will not flow through the pipe. Only when you open the valve, the water is going to flow. Similarly, in the electrical circuit, what we call is the switch, or is called the key. So when the switch is open, or if the wire is cut anywhere, you just cut the wire and now the current is going to stop. It will not flow. For example, so in summary we can say the electric current is flow of charge through a conductor. And in a torch, there are number of cells. Like I have got a torch in my hand, so it will have a number of cells, and these cells are connected together, and it has got a switch. So the moment the switch is on, the current starts flowing, and the lamp is glowing. I put the switch off, the circuit is broken. So this is how, so this continuous and closed path of an electric current is called electric circuit. So the circuit is continuous and closed. So anywhere the circuit is open, is broken, the current is not going to flow. So with that concept, let us do some mathematics. So put it into, the mathematics is the language of physics. So all the concept of physics are expressed in mathematics. So we have a simple mathematics, flow of charge flowing through a particular area in unit time is called current. So that means if I have a wire, how much current, how much charge per second is flowing through that wire is called current. So the current is nothing but rate of flow of charge per unit time. So if the net charge Q flows any cross section of a conductor in time t, then the current I through the cross section is given by this equation. This is a simple relation because this is a rate. So current is denoted, abbreviation is I. We don't write current, we just say I is equal to charge. We denote charge by Q and divide by time. So time, the symbol is T and charge is Q. So in form of a equation we say I is equal to Q by T, or if you put in a different order, or you say charge Q equal to current into time. The only thing is you should be careful about the units. So you already studied in your lower grades, Q is expressed in coulombs. So coulombs, we don't write coulombs, we just say C. So C is the unit or coulomb, and T is the time, which is in seconds. So coulomb is the unit of charge, and T and the seconds is the unit of time. So the unit of current will be coulomb per second. But we don't say coulomb per second, we say ampere, because the Ampere was a scientist, he was a great scientist. So to honor him, the unit of current has been given as ampere. So 1 ampere you can say is nothing but 1 coulomb per second. So in 1 second, if the charge flowing is 1 coulomb, the current is 1 ampere. If the charge flowing is 5 coulombs in 1 second, the current is 5 ampere. But ampere is a large, 1 ampere is a very large current. So sometimes we express current in milliampere. So milli means 1 divided by 1000 or 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. So 1 milliampere is a small current which is 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere, and 1 microampere. Micro means 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, here it is error, it is 10 to the power minus 6. This is not 10 to the power minus 3, but it is 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. Now I am going to demonstrate you a simple circuit which is used for measuring the how much current is flowing through a circuit. So the instrument which I will be showing you in the lab is what we call is the ammeter, and it measures the electric current in the circuit, how much current is flowing through the circuit. This instrument I will be showing you. And one important thing is it is always connected in series. That means one end of the ammeter is connected to one end of a say battery. It is always in series. Another instrument which will be covering in the next class, what is called is a voltmeter for measuring the potential difference, and that instrument is always connected in parallel. So that I will explain you in the next class. And the current always flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal of the cell through the bulb and ammeter. But the actual flow of current in a wire is by the electron. So the electron will be flowing in the opposite direction. But it is an international convention because when the electricity was invented, that time electrons were not invented. Though the scientists, physicists understood what is current, but they didn't know that it was flow of electrons. Electrons were invented much later. But so we still follow the old convention that the current flows from positive to negative, but the electrons are flowing in the opposite direction. So let us go to the lab and see what happens. What I will be showing you is a battery. I will not use the battery, but in place of a battery I am going to use battery eliminator, but it does the same job. Then the battery will be connected to the lamp. One end of the battery, positive end of the battery, will be connected to the one end of the lamp, and these lines, what you are saying is nothing but the conductor copper wires, and the other end of the lamp will be connected to ammeter. So we say the ammeter is connected in series. Other end of the ammeter is connected to a switch or a key, and this key, other end of the key is connected to negative terminal of the battery. So this is called a complete circuit. So when the key is on, the current will start flowing and the ammeter will deflect. So this is called the complete circuit. So if I cut the wire anywhere I put the key off, the current flow will stop. So let us see how it works. So this is what we call battery eliminator. If you see this, I can give 2 volt, 4 volt, 6 volt, 8 volt, 10 volt, 12 volt. What is the meaning of volt? I will explain in the next class. So like a battery, it has got a positive terminal, it has got a negative terminal. Now the positive terminal is connected to one end of the lamp. Lamp also has got two points. Other end is connected to the ammeter. This is the ammeter, what I was saying, for measuring the current, and it is connected in series. So other terminal of the ammeter is connected to a key. This is the key or switch. If you see this, if I remove this, the circuit is broken, no current will flow. So this key is on position and the other end of the key is connected to the negative. So this is how the circuit is complete. Now the circuit is complete. So once the battery is on, the current should start flowing. Now the switch is on and I select a voltage. Okay, so now the voltage I have given. Now you see the lamp is glowing and you can see the current flowing through this. This ammeter has got a maximum range of 3 ampere, 0 to 3 ampere. And you see I got a small divisions like from here 0 to 1, 1.5 to 2.5. So you see now the current is more than 0.5 ampere. Now I will increase the current through the circuit. You see now this is around less than 1.8 ampere. You see the current is increasing and so is the brightness of the lamp. And if I remove the key, see what happens. What has happened? The circuit is broken. Circuit is not complete. So the lamp is off because there is no current. Ammeter is showing there is no flow of charge. So it is showing 0. So now I insert the key and you see this lamp is on. If I keep increasing the voltage, you see the current through the circuit is increasing. Of course, I cannot show you the flow of electron through these wires. Okay, like a flow in a water you can physically see, but here the electrons are invisible. But the battery is pumping, pushing the electron through the lamp and through the ammeter. So it is showing the effect of electricity. You can see only the effect of electricity. Physically you cannot see the electrons. And see, this is how I am able to control electricity and see the effect. So it is a very, very important form of electricity. So now I put the switch off and I hope you have understood. If I give you a battery, I give you a lamp, you should be able to make a simple electrical circuit using this. Now, okay, let us do one numerical small example of electric current. The question given is a current of 0.5 ampere is drawn by a filament. Like you have seen the lamp of an electric bulb for 10 minutes. So the current 0.5 ampere is flowing for 10 minutes in the circuit. So the question asked is find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. So whenever any numerical is given, first you should find out what is given in the problem and what is to be solved. So if you see this, we are given the current is, which I told you, is denoted by I. So I is equal to 0.5 ampere. So you should be careful about the units. T is given 10 minutes, but I told you the ampere is coulomb per second. So the time minutes has to be converted into seconds. So 10 minutes is equal to 10 into 60, that is 600 seconds. Now you apply the equation. If you have understood the flow of current through a circuit, you can quickly recall the formula. I is equal to Q by T or Q is equal to I into T, because I is given, T is given, you have to find out Q. So multiply current through the time. The only thing is you should not multiply by 10 minutes, 10, but 600 seconds, because I find most of you make mistake in the units. So you have to be very, very careful about the units. So the answer is Q is equal to 300. No, it's not 300, it's 300 coulomb. So the unit is very important. If you just write answer 300, you will not get any marks unless you write 300 coulomb. Now, this is not part of your syllabus, but I am going to show you some interesting simulation of current flowing through a circuit. And now this is a simulation, not animation. Okay, this is a simulation of a electrical circuit. So you find that here we have got a 10 ohm resistor. I will explain the resistor in when we cover the Ohm's law. As of now, you assume that this is a lamp. Here you have got a switch and the battery, and you have got a lamp. Now you see how the electrons are flowing through the circuit, and we can find out how much current is flowing. And if I put this switch, see what has happened. Now the circuit is broken, it's not complete, and you see the electrons are not flowing, the circuit is incomplete. If I put the switch on, and see what happens. So we can find out how much current is flowing, how much charge is flowing through this simulation. So we'll learn more about this simulation as we go along. Now, okay, before we finish, we have already forwarded what you have learned in this class, in your class task, and you have to complete the class task, take a picture and upload. So these are the 3 questions which you have to write and upload. Thank you. With that, we have finished. See you in the next class.